This is a Jeanneau NC37, and there's a lot of clever thinking gone into this boat. I'm going to take you on board and give you the full tour, because this is a boat that's really designed to be used. You get the feeling with this that somebody who's really gone boating has thought about this and worked out exactly what people want from a family cruising boat. So we'll come right to the back. There's a bathing platform on the back here. Now you'll notice that moulding there, you can see that cutout. The reason for that is because that whole cockpit section of seating slides. That's why there's a bolt there and another hole for it there. And the idea of that is you can choose to have a bigger cockpit and less bathing platform, or if you want to put a big tender on the back, then you can slide that forward and compromise your cockpit to get more space here. It means, of course, that when you launch your tender, you can drop that back again for more seating if you want to. So that's quite a neat touch. There's a locker in underneath there as well, so that's accessed from underneath here. There we go, full of fenders at the moment, which is exactly the kind of thing you keep in there. Let's drop that carefully back. This is absolutely brand spanking new. It's been sold, which is why it has a name on it, but yeah, not been delivered yet. Doorway here, so that closes off, and this is this sliding seating area that I mentioned, and you've got a canopy on here, as you can see. Of course, all of this will come off, so you can take all of these side sections out, and you can take the top off, or you can leave that up for a bit of extra sun protection if you prefer. And this is what they call a deck saloon boat, so it means that your saloon area is on the same level as your cockpit. It's straight through and in, and then you've got these big doors here that slide across, and that window will drop down, so you can either connect these areas as it is at the minute, or the weather's not quite so nice, close all that up and have that all nicely kept warm and dry, and you've still got the big windows and a great view out. This is a bit of storage in here, and then there is steps up onto the side decks. They go up around there, and engines are underneath, which we will have a look at, of course, last thing. Now that fella opens up to make a bigger table if you want it, or you can use it like that and have that as a handrail, and then this is your deck saloon. So a very nice area, loads of space to sit out here and relax. You can cook here as well. Everyone's on one level, everyone's together. That's superb. This is a bit of storage in places like here for bottles or whatever you want to keep in there. There's a drawer tucked away underneath here, like so. And that is the fridge down behind that one. It's a gas oven and grill, and then you also have the gas hob underneath and a sink right next to it. People sometimes ask, well, there's a mirror on the back of these. Well, this is so that if you were ever to have this still really hot, or even accidentally leave it on and drop that down, you're not going to burn the GRP because you've got that mirror there to protect it. That's why those are there. And finally, a bit more storage on this side and a bin. Now there's something very clever going on underneath the floor here. I'm going to come to that in a minute, but just when I mention this, this is what I'm talking about. Up here then, seating continues all the way around. This table will open out, so you can make a much larger dining table if you want. Both those leaves, of course, fold out. And then up here, if you prefer to have forward-facing seating because you're cruising down the coast, then you can simply lift that up. And there you go. Forward-facing seating right next to the helm. That's brilliant. Big windows all the way around, great view out. There's also a massive opening roof section here. It's electric sliding roof, and there's a sliding window just over on this side, so you can get a ton of ventilation and air into here when the weather is nice, as it is today. We're in Swanwick Marina and it's absolutely scorching. It's beautiful. Over on this side then is the helm position. They've gone for this very low glare finish all the way around so it doesn't reflect in the windscreen. That's a good idea. Twin engines on this one, we'll come to those. But a side access door, now that does two things. Obviously it gives you great access out onto the side decks, makes handling the boat that much easier. But also it just, again, gets a load of air and light in through here. So with that open and that open and that open, it just feels like a nice open experience. But it's all of a few seconds to close it up. Just slide the door shut, slide that shut, hit the button and that closes, and you're good. This is a VHF radio just here. And then these are the engine start-stop controls. You've got rev counters. That's the multifunction display in the centre. More instrumentation across the top, so your fuel gauges on either side and your trim gauges on the centre one is a Helm indicator. So when you've got some lock on, you can see exactly which way your drives are pointed. That's very useful. And you've also got joystick control on this one as well. So that allows you to actually manage the boat in close quarters without using the throttles or the steering. You just push the joystick the way you want the boat to go. It just makes life really, really easy. Let's press on down to the lower deck. This is clever because there are two main cabins. There's one down here. This is a good size. It's a double bed, but you can lift out this centre section. There's a piece there that you take out as well, the wooden piece, and make that into two singles. Brilliant for kids, of course, or have it as a double as it is at the moment. You've got a decent window in here, and you've got storage in places like this. So that's a nice cabin, some funky lighting in here as well in places like this. I like this woodwork, it's really light, feels very contemporary, but it also makes this whole area feel a bit more spacious. And then if we go on forward, you've got another cabin here. This of course is the owner's cabin. Loads of space in here. You've got twin hatches overhead so you can get plenty of light in. Again, that funky lighting that runs all the way around. This is storage up in places like this. Find the catch, there we go. So plenty of places to tuck your gear away. And then over here there's a hanging locker, and there is more storage all over the place. But also, if we lift the end of the bed, there's a massive space in there. And in fact, we've got carpets in there at the minute. It's because a wooden floor currently, but you can put the carpets down if you want to. And that little infill cushion there, the reason for that is you see these slidey bits here. If we drop that back down, if you're tall and this isn't long enough, you can slide it out and put infill cushions in, or you can slide it closed if you don't need that length and get a bit more space at the foot of the bed. So that's very clever. But there's a lot more clever stuff coming right up, because if we come back here, what I do like is they split off the toilet and the shower. So this is the shower in here, and it is just a dedicated wash basin and shower area, and there's a door you can see here that comes across, and the shower then pulls out over here like so, and there's a blind of course that drops down for a bit of privacy if you need it. So that's just the washing area. The toilet itself, that is over on this side, completely separate, which means if someone's using the shower, you're not stuck. For going to the toilet, you've still got a little sink in here to wash your hands, and there's a bit of storage up and behind like that, which we've got a few people on the boat, is very, very helpful. And another really clever thing about this boat is, so okay, you've got your two cabins, you've got your master cabin up here, and you've got that guest cabin over there, but what they've done with the floor underneath here is put this area in. And what this means is you can use this as an occasional double bed, or just as a massive storage area, and that's probably how most people will use this. And in fact, if you look up in the ceiling, you can now see that hatch in the floor that I was telling you about. And the reason for that is, if you've not got your covers around the cockpit and you've been out for the day and you've got all your cushions out there, get to the end of the day and you think, well, it's going to be dry, but it's going to be dewy, we don't want the cushions getting wet, you can just open that hatch and just chuck them straight into here and take them out again, rather than have to bring them all the way through and down these steps and back again. So that's a really useful area. You can fold this up or take this out, this mattress. That I think is clever, and it takes the sleeping up to 6. And in fact, I believe there's an option to have a converting table, in which case you could sleep 8. And at that point, the separate toilet and shower makes a lot of sense. This down here is a fridge, so there's another fridge on the boat, and more storage down here. Again, it's all about family boating and keep everyone happy. And then this down here is just access to some of the systems like the plumbing, and a bit more storage down there. They've really used every inch on this. That's brilliant. Let's come out of here, back past the helm. This section here is a drop-down section so that you can lift that seat up out of the way, which is great for getting in and out. But also, if we drop that like that, that comes down, and now you've got nice easy steps up out of the boat through the side deck. And a bit more storage underneath. So let's come up here and we'll go out this way. That's a little light that lights up down here, and we can get straight out onto the foredeck. big wipers on here, so you've still got a great view even if the weather's not quite so good. Those are those hatches that are above the forward cabin, and you can have sunbathing cushions out here if you want to as well. Anchor chain locker there, and then your anchor out on the front of the boat just there. And then if we look back here, you can see down the boat you've got walkways down on either side. What they've done in fact is make that one a little bit narrower and higher, and if you look on this side, this is a bit wider and a bit deeper, and the idea is you would normally use this one to come forward and back, and of course that's where the door comes out as well. But if you're berthing on that side, you want to put fenders out or just cleaning the boat, then you've still got access down that side of the boat. Let's come back here. That's that big sliding roof. It's a power sliding roof, and there's a blind to come across there as well. And then if we come into here and take us back in the way that we came, back through, I'm going to show you that hole in the floor because I just think it's such a genius idea. There we go. That's that area that we looked at. You can use it for sleeping, but most people will probably just use that for storage, and you better just step down into here and chuck stuff in there. You can fold those mattresses over in half so you've got a wooden floor in there. This is genius. And that's what I mean about, you get a real sense that somebody who actually goes boating has a good hand in the design of this. You can see these floors as well, very practical flooring. So if you don't want the carpets down, you just want to keep it really easy, you know, kids have been swimming, that kind of thing, you don't want to get this messed up, you can roll that up and you've still got a really nice flooring underneath it. So that is that. That there is a drain, so if any water does get into here, it drains down through there. There's some big scuppers, they call those, in fact, stop water going into your saloon area. And then back here is the engines. So if we lift these fellas here, there we go. That raises up gently. And there we are. Now that is a pair of Volvo Penta D4 270 engines. It's a twin engine installation. She's on outdrives, and those are going to give a speed of probably about 30 knots flat out, cruising at about 26, and your range, you're looking about 250 miles with this. I keep saying that, but I actually looked this one up and it's 243, so I'm pretty accurate when I say that. More storage down here. You can see there's a fender in there at the minute, so you can put no spare oil or parts or bits and pieces in there if you want to. And there's a step there so you can get in. These are fuel filters on the bulkhead here. Dipsticks are handed to the centre, so the dipstick on this one is on this side and the dipstick on this one is on this side, so when you get into the middle you can reach both of those. You can imagine if the dipstick like that was the same on this engine, it would be back underneath there. So again, a lot of thought gone into it. Very nice. I'll tell you what else, which you can't see, there's a lovely new boat smell to this. You can't beat a bit of new boat smell. Let's drop that one back down. There we go. And that one like that. And that is about the size of that. Let's come back in through here. And I'm going to sit up here and say thank you to Sea Ventures. They organised that tour for me. They're the dealers here in Swanwick. And thank you to you guys as ever for watching. We'll catch you on another one of these very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.